Hello, this is Joel Niedermeyer. This is for management and operations in service, February 19th. Um, this will be for the brief explanation of the Harvard Business Simulation for the Benihana program. I originally went in and just started moving them back and forth a little bit, trying to see which one would work and to find out what the best profit was for the nightly profit, um, in addition to the overall revenue. And some of the ones that I found, of course, batching was the best thing to do. It filled the seats properly and utilizes the space a lot better. Without batching, then you get ones and twos, and it uses areas, and you can have a whole table with 2 or 3 people on it. Batching ensures that the seats are filled and not left vacant during peak hours of the rush. If you did not batch it, it severely decreased the efficiency and revenue of the restaurant. The optimal size of the bar for maximum profitability. I found that 79 seats in the bar area was effective for the profitability of the revenue. By increasing to more bar seats, it didn't really increase profits because it decreased overall profits in the restaurant. So that was kind of the happy medium with 79 seats. Challenge 3 is it says, is it worthwhile to change the length of the dining time? And also, when would you want to change it? Why? The dining time is very important for the utilization for the restaurant. By fast changing the seats, getting more people in and out of their seats is much more efficient, and it's quicker, especially during the peak hours. So when I went back and forth during the peak hours, if they can move it to 45 minutes and get them out of the seats within 45 minutes, then the ones during the other times before or after didn't really matter. I mean, obviously it's better for all to be 45 minutes, but it didn't seem to me that there was a huge effect by sticking with 45 minutes for peak, and then you can, the two, one before and one after, could be a little bit longer. The dining time is very important for the utilization for the restaurant by fast changing the seats and for the revenue. By decreasing the dining time in the peak hours, it drastically increased profits. There was not a lot of revenue difference by speeding up the dining times in the off-peak. As one can imagine, if the place is overloaded and customers are taking up tables for longer than 45 minutes, it reduces profits. Customers could and do walk out when the line is too long during peak hours. By speeding up, it moves the customers, and it keeps the queue waiting times less and keeps the customers moving quicker. How can you reduce demand variability? What worked, what different? The key to the game that I saw was the advertisement. 2 times the normal advertisement than what was on there. If you did it 2 times the advertisement, then also advertise for the happy hour. You have to have the happy hour. The other variables that I saw did not help a lot. It didn't make a whole lot of difference. Matter of fact, it seemed like it reduced. And as most restaurants, bars that you go to nowadays, that's the key to getting people in, is the happy hour time. So if you can get them to come in and 2-for-1s and all that kind of stuff and spend more money in the bar, then your bar revenue increases. Number 5, is it a good idea to use different types of batching methods at different times? Yes, because during peak times, you need to fill and utilize all the seats. In the off-peak times, using a 4-share model, it helped to fill the seats, and it kept seats full without customers having to have 8 in a party or waiting 8 for a party. So that's on that last part of the challenge, on that challenge 5, by changing it to 4 shares, then they only had to wait for the 4 other people to come in. So it during the off-peak time. During peak time, it still was more efficient to stick with the 8. Um, and challenge 6 was, what do you think is the best strategy for maximizing profitability? What did you think is the best strategy for maximizing? Okay, during the peak hours, efficiency and speed is the key to improved revenue. The main objective of a restaurant is to keep the seats constantly changing and reduce the times a customer spends in the restaurant area during the peak hours, as well as reduce the walkouts when the queue is too long. As previously stated, a happy hour is very important to bring the cost-conscious customers and its revenues and the overall expenses to the customers. I also increased the ad amounts, like I said before, to 2 times the normal amount, and it seemed to help increase and bring in the customers to happy hours, as well as keep the restaurants full. Yes, there is a correlation between the variables, because you have to use the happy hour and the advertisement for the happy hour. I particularly have or ownership in a restaurant, and it, from what I can see, you always have to keep the happy hour going. You also have to keep the people coming in with the advertisement, so people know, whether it's handouts, bulletins, Facebook, whatever it is, so people know that that there's a happy hour there. And I also went further with it and tried 3 times or 2.5 times for the for the advertisement, and it didn't help a lot. I mean, because there is that happy medium where you start throwing too much advertisement at it, and you're only going to still get the same amount or the same certain people that are going to show up for it. Overall, that it was a pretty interesting exercise, because I was able to kind of see the differences and stuff we have studied before, with how long people will sit in the queue before they can leave or before their walkout, and if they were able to get a chance to get in that bar area, if you're able to increase the size of the bar for that's a happy medium, that you could get people in earlier with the happy hour and have more of a increased ticket in the end for the customer, more of the price of the ticket. The overall price of the ticket. So it's not just the restaurant; it's also your bar time and your appetizers and things like that. That comes along with it. And I think that's it. I appreciate it. This was like I said, this was an interesting exercise in the Benihana. That'll do it. My name is Joel Niedermeyer. Thank you.